Before I start, just a little announcement. Batya, I think it was Batya, right?
It's all vodka. Yes,
It's all Batya.
It's always vodka.
Put together these very nice cards that you can find by the coffee with Masim Tovim to do, the Indui Nishmat Abba, that we should all be Chazek. Okay, so I usually don't read from papers because I'm dyslexic and so on. But this speech is written by the siblings, so I present them correctly. I'll do my best. In loving memory of our Abba. Abba passed away on the last day of Chol Hamoed Pesach, the day of the Geula, the day the sea split. And the timing seems to fit. When the 12 tribes entered the Yam Suf, we entered as individuals, left as a nation. Each tribe had its own culture, yet we were one nation. Abba really felt strong about the cloud, about the idea of tzibur. And we see that the Baal Haggadah has the same feelings as we see with the 4 sons, especially the evil son, one. So why do we smite his teeth? It's because she'otzi et atzmo min haklal. It wasn't what he said or how he said it, but he took himself out of the cloud, which was his mistake. And we could also see that we're 8 siblings. We each have our own way. We chose our own paths, but we all stand united, and that's due largely to his teachings. Another way of looking at the splitting of the sea, Am Yisrael stepped through a birth canal of water into a new world. It wasn't just a miracle, it was the beginning of becoming who we truly are. That moment was painful, terrifying, and uncertain, but it led to light. During the Shiva, Ima shared with us a mashal from the book Gesher HaChaim, a parallel that suddenly felt like it was written with Abba in mind. It's a story of twins in the womb. One of them begins to say strange things. He whispers to his brother, "There's more out there, you know, a world where people walk on 2 legs, where they eat through their mouths." His twin raises an eyebrow. "What are you talking about?" "There's a sky filled with stars and a sea with other creatures." The other twin shakes his head. "You sound crazy. Stop with your conspiracy theories." But the first twin doesn't back down. "You'll see," he says quietly. At the end, the conspiracy theorist twin leaves. The twin who remains mourns. But what's really happening? The first twin is being held in loving arms, greeted with joy, with tears of happiness, with the words Mazal Tov. The first twin, the one who stayed, who saw beyond, that was Abba. He spent his life searching for truth, even when it sounded like a conspiracy to everyone else. Even when it meant going against the current, Abba didn't chase popularity, he pursued emet. He worked Chelek before it was mainstream because it's what's written. He learned Yerushalmi because we live in Eretz Yisrael and it made sense to him. He challenged assumptions, he questioned systems, he didn't do it to be different. He did it because he wanted to find the truth. He was the twin in the womb who said, "There's something more out there." And just like Yetziat Mitzrayim, where Bnei Yisrael walked into the unknown with faith, and were redeemed, so too Abba has crossed into the world of truth. We remain behind in mourning, but he is being celebrated in the world of Neshama and Emet. When Abba and Ima made Aliyah the first time, Abba joined Or Sameach, the Kola, and he had his tuition ready, and he comes, and they said, "We could accept you, but there's just one problem, we can't pay you." And he looked confused, he's like, why in the world would you pay me? Do I need to pay you? I mean, that's how it works, no? He never made the connection. There was no havamina in his mind that someone would pay him for doing the right thing. This is what you need to do. If you need to learn, you learn. You don't get paid for it. That's not something that, and that's something that he taught us all as children. We don't believe in that. Someone had the idea, I don't know who it was from the siblings, to do a siyum in Masechet Shkalim in Yerushalmi. and I ended up learning the third parak. It's Yosef's idea. Okay, good idea. Anyways, so the Braita ends off, the last part I learned in the end of the third parak is the Braita Tana B'Shem Rabbi Meir, Braita in the name of Rabbi Meir. Kol mi shekavua be'eretz Yisrael u'medaber belashon hakodesh. As Steve mentioned, you should be medayek in the milim. I think the nusach I found interesting is kavua be'eretz Yisrael. It's not someone who's kovea, but someone who's permanent here. Abba, the idea of leaving, even on a trip to Chutz La'aretz, was terrifying for him. He was kavua be'eretz Yisrael. There was no question about that. U'medaber belashon hakodesh ve'ochel perutav b'tahara, speaking in lashon hakodesh, eating food impurity. וקורא קריאת שמע בבוקר ובערב יהיה מבוסר שבין עולם הבא הוא. And this is the word Abba. Remember, it was 88, 89, something like that. Abba was made a change in his life. He started reading Hebrew newspapers and listening to the radio in Hebrew. And he was really struggling. And I asked him, why are you working so hard? You speak Hebrew, you get along. You're like, what are you trying, like, you know it. And he says, no, I need to know it like it Israeli. I need to speak, I need to get the accent, I need to know it. I'm in Eretz Yisrael, I'm speaking Lashon HaKodesh, I need to speak Lashon HaKodesh like I'm in Eretz Yisrael. It's not good enough. And that, to me, it just hit me. He is Mebusar Ben Olam Haba, no question about it. And during the Shiva, all of us children spoke about Abba. We tried to find a pasuk that defined him. Without planning it, we all said the same thing. He was a seeker of truth. No matter how far-fetched an idea sounded, if it might be true, Abba would chase it down. He never let anything stop him. And then Shimi opened Tehillim and read, Holech tamim u'foed tzedek v'dover emet b'levavo. He who walks with integrity, does what is right, and speaks truth in his heart. That was Abba. It's a man of courage, of truth, that ran so deep it didn't need to be shouted. It was simply who he was. Don't worry, I only have 5 pages left. All who knew Abba recognized his restless search for emet, truth, even when it sounded like a wild theory. He worked daily before his bachelor, especially Shalmi, because living in Eretz Yisrael made it come alive, and questioned every assumption, not to provoke, but to understand. He walked with integrity, did what is right, and spoke truth in his heart. We've learned so much from him. Pursue your conviction. Don't fear going against the tide. If your search leads you elsewhere, value substance over status. Expertise isn't granted by title, but earned through curiosity and dedication. Embrace mitzvahs courageously. Mitzvahs aren't burdens. Fearlessness in action. Whether navigating a crowded Muslim quarter or hopping police barricades, he moved with purpose and conviction. Kovai Timat Torah, he never missed a moment of learning. Busy days, quiet ones, the pages of Torah called to him. Kindness and generosity. His open heart made every visitor feel like family. No one ever left his table unnoticed or unloved. Zrizut, if something needed doing, he did it immediately, especially when it came to doing good. Hope for change. Abba believed in a better world and worked tirelessly towards it. In the days since his passing, we've unearthed more hints of his brilliance, ideas he barely had time to share, advanced theories later proven true. My hope is, in our lives, we carry forward even a fraction of curiosity, his courage, and his compassion. Like that twin who whispered of distant stars, Abba saw more than most. May his memory propel us ever onward towards light and truth. We love you, Abba, and we will never stop seeking just as you taught us. Thank you.